I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I was kidnapped in 41, brought to Moulton, Alabama, in 41. I was born in 1939. I hope I got that right. I've made a couple of videos, and I've kind of gotten them out of sync, so bear with me here. What I did want to put back up here, though, was about the bomber a few days ago. And now there's still remnants of some packages he sent out. Whether they had bombs, I don't know. They were telling today. Okay, I could go on and try to show you a lot of connections, and it really wouldn't do any good at this time. I associate him, this man, also back with the oh gosh, it was on my mind just now, Unabomber. Some years back, I think they arrested him in 1996. Some things happened there, and of course, it fit into the patterns of these mind control murders. Because mind control is invisible, and how would you prove it, really? Doctors know it. Believe me, they do. Psychiatrists, doctors. So where are all these people? Plenty of people are schooled and everything, knowledge, medical. No one. There might be some people, because I know there are videos done under mind control, a section there, but I haven't read them, and they wouldn't know that they were done in patterns, but they certainly know the difference in mind control and mental illness. My God, there's no connection. Oh, gee. Well, I've explained enough. What I wanted to put here was after the shooting in, let me put it this way, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. What was it, 2 days ago now? Okay. Let me just go this way, I guess. Oh, okay, it was in Pittsburgh. And the man who's been arrested, of course, is a mind control victim. He's just as much a victim as anybody else in this. Well, okay. The press is not victims, they're the perpetrators here. There's no, if this is ever told, and I have gone to them, they knew about my kidnapping, there's no doubt in their mind. I can't go through and rehash all this. My whereabouts, taking it, they were not going to tell about me and the mind control murders, because to tell about the mind control murders done in patterns would lead to me and my kidnapping. The takedown of my father, Edward VIII, who was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor. She was Queen of England. Look at the power that they took down my father and installed their own monarch, George VI, illegal, who's Elizabeth's father. So Elizabeth and that bunch of hoodlums and war criminals are a fake. Well, the criminals. But they took my father down with character assassination and lies. There was more than one double, and one of them married Wallace and became the illegal Duke and Duchess of Windsor. But now you've got that was done. Their wedding was in 37, same year. The illegal George VI, replaced my father. Well, my father always meant to return. He was forced out. And my mom and dad were married in the Church of England. My mom was a school teacher. Georgia O'Keefe, my aunt's an artist. And I keep saying it's odd. She owned Ghost Ranch out in New Mexico near Santa Fe. Okay, she had lots of money. A couple of her paintings just sold in the last 5 months, and they brought millions and millions. Just each one of them did. They even took my aunt's. They tied her estate up with a fake will and would not let the O'Keefes get near her. So anyway, I'm going to try to go back to this if I can. My father would not go along with the Illuminati, follow their orders. He worked for the British. He's the King of England. He is not any of these things that the sorry press and Elizabeth, and I don't believe for one moment all my family, immediate family I'm talking about, were crooked. And some of these things I hear, I don't believe some of it. So some of it I know is. But you get on out to other members of my family did try to help me and are, I'm sure, still trying to help. But anyway, I keep saying anyway, I don't have prepared speeches and all this. Oh, I haven't lost my train of thought here. I wanted to get back to, I think I just did though. Okay, I'm talking about the mind control murders. And, this whole thing has centered around the Jewish, the Bilderbergers, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds that control your banking. Rothschild was very closely kin to Elizabeth's mother that they call the Queen Mom. Of course, she wasn't the Queen Mom. My mom is. My father never meant to leave. He meant to stay. He meant to come back when they did all that, and he had to leave. And he had papers drawn up that should he have an heir, the heir would not be disinherited. The heir would inherit, and I was born in 1939. I think they never expected my father and mother to have children. My mom was 40 and my father was 45. So I was born, now they had to get rid of me. And they brought me to Moulton, Alabama, and it gets into twins. Peggy and Carl Dempsey were born out of wedlock, and back then, children born out of wedlock were teased and taunted and called bastard and illegitimate, and actually blamed for it was supposed to be a crime that their mother had committed and father, but they were blamed for it. So they put me there, and I went through all the sadistic hell that they put me through, not just the sheer poverty and dirt and stench and everything, but anyway, being called bastard and taunted in school because the classmates did not know the difference. There's people in Moulton that I could go back, and I named this to Jean. She's the only one I think that's still living. I'm not sure she's still living of the sisters, Lina's sisters. There was seven women in that family, Dempsey family, and one son, Matthew, and he's deceased. But anyway, so I don't lose my train of thought here. I'm tired of, anyway. There's people that still remember that, and I remember telling Jean about the one lady that lived not too far from the Dempseys. This is out in the country. And I remember her mother, Lina's mother, Jean's mother, that's still alive, I think, and she's not been arrested. She's afraid because it's already told. It's on YouTube and Facebook. So plenty of people. I've talked with the press down there, and I've talked with the police, and the sheriff down there. I've put up letters where he said that he can't do anything. That FBI have it's their case or something. And then I called a dispatcher down there. Remember, I grew up there. And she said, you get the runaround, the buck passed. She says, well, you were kidnapped in England. You'll have to go back to England. The crime was committed there. Good luck on getting back to England unless it happens now or something. I mean, are you kidding? That woman, anyway. And then they send me 2 letters, one from the district attorney, and I put this up, district attorney's office, and the probate judge, which is Rip Proctor. Excuse me, Rip, if this goes up. He was in school a couple years younger than me. His grandfather was the one that delivered the real twins, Peggy and Carl. That's a shame I have to say real. Anyway, they were born a year before I was born. And here I get kidnapped and brought and given Peggy's name, the girl. The other one's Carl. Anyway, where am I going with this? I'm just putting something else up here that I've already done. Plenty of people know about it. I mean, they know about it here in Roanoke. They knew about it in Atlanta. They knew about it in Huntsville. It suppresses control and the law. And the fact that if you tell about me and tell about what's been done to me and my kids here, which is horrible, and then connect it to what's still being done to my father's name, and my mom's been deleted. And here's Meghan Markle. And I keep saying this, I don't mean any harm to Meghan Markle, but the press is following her all over the place, to Australia, on the plane with her the other day when it made a mishap or something and couldn't land, had to get up and go around again. Big deal. I mean, how much can you just stand of this crap that's going on? And your press so crooked it isn't funny. Okay, now I want to go back to the mind control murders, Allegheny County, and let me just run down this. It's done like a puzzler. Okay, Pittsburgh shootings, Pennsylvania, was done at the church. Tree of Life, did I get that right? Syna'gog'ue. And Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is in Allegheny County, the metro. Pittsburgh is, or maybe all of Pittsburgh is in that county. Now then, Robert Bowers was the man that was arrested for, and I may have just said this, I'm getting lost and it's time for me to put this up today. I've had some other things going on here, but anyway, he was arrested. And Robert, of course, that name, what that means to me, was a U.S. Marshal. Well, I can say this, interact, so actually he was also FBI. But the Bowers, David's his name, and David's my dad's name, Edward, but that was his title, but David's what they call my father. Okay, David Bowers was mayor of Roanoke, where I've lived all these years, since '86. By the way, my mom and dad were both still alive then and married to each other in '86. And Mayor Bowers was 1982, he was mayor to 2000. Second term was 2008 to 2016. I remember him. He was a good mayor, too. Okay, Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay, now you got where this is connected, where if they're going to tell this, and if they don't tell it, you've got the global government in control, the Illuminati, the end times, and the chipping and all that. Chips and teeth, everything is gone. You can't use cash. You're chipped. Okay, and by the way, I'm going to mention this. People in India, it's already required, and I'm sure a lot of others as countries. It's going to be no borders, so that you're the global government out of New York City. You're I got to get off of here. Organization of States. You tell me. I'm tired. National. Anyway. It's the group up there that it's the front for the Illuminati, with the Rockefeller Foundation and headquarters up there, United Nations. Okay, you got Clifton Forge is in Allegheny County, Virginia. It's a part of the Roanoke region. Okay. 3 years ago, I was put in a situation, I was trying to find a place to live anyway. I've been made homeless. And I was taken out to Scott Hill retirement. In fact, they kind of courted me on that one. And I got out there, and it was a fiasco. My illness, I have an autoimmune disorder, and it's been used to make me move from place to place, and people can pretend they don't want to get involved. They'll just say they don't care. But anyway, it's not a funny thing to have an immune disorder like toxic fumes. Make me sick. The inflammation shuts down my immune system. So I should have lived a normal life, but this has been deliberate. So anyway, 3 years ago, I ended up at Clifton Forge. You have to know what's interacted and done to get where the clues, if you want to call it. I used to say it was like Braille. I knew I don't know how to use Braille, but I'm talking about I know this. Somebody else can read Braille and know what it says when I don't. I hope you get the point there. Okay. So there was things happened there. I was out there twice, and then I left. It was too horrible, and I left. So then in June, exactly the very date 3 years ago, I was called, and they had an apartment open. Now they want me to come back out there. Well, it turned into a fiasco. I go back out there, and I could start telling what they did to me out there, and the names and all this. The point to it is the shootings. The point is the Scott Peterson was a programmed. He didn't kill Lacey. He didn't kill his son, Connor. Mind control was used in it. Amber Fry that was used to discredit him, the Amber, so you get to see how mind control had to pull a lot of these things together if it's ever told. So it's already widespread, and this is going to go off in a minute. Amber is in Amber Alert, where I was telling about the children being kidnapped, and it was done in patterns, just like I'm talking about. People programmed to kidnap them, and they go to prison. Scott Peterson's on death row. I can understand where they might be going to tell it. Mark Garrigus was his attorney, and a great attorney. Now, if they don't tell it here, I don't think they will, and he's on death row. So the only other thing I can say here is this is done the Allegheny County. What else is in... Well, and I'm going to leave it there. The man up here, they're calling him all the names. The press can't wait to have his hide. And he is just as much a victim as they are. The people that were shot. They're referring to all these other shootings. It's mass. They were mind control, most of them, that they have told about. Now then, I'm going to... Somebody's outside. So I'm going to go. The response they're giving to the Jewish, this is a Jewish synagogue, is tremendous. It's kept the 11 they have, and don't come at me and try to come after me because I'm telling you this. The Jews were a big part of my kidnapping and what's been done to me here in this country. So forgive me or don't forgive me if I don't like what they've done to me and my children. And that was horrifying. Horrifying if it's ever told. The fact that you've never bothered to tell it. Nobody's gone to jail, prison, paid a price for it or anything. There's been some good people here. 99% of them did not lift a finger. They would ship me off to Timbuktu and tell me to well, in fact, I've been told. They don't want to hear it. Okay, now, unless one of their kids was on death row or something, I guess that's all I was going to say. What else can I say? If you notice okay, here I do want to make a point if I'm not talking into a dead phone again with no space on it. All these people that are up there around this, and we're talking the last couple of days, are they're FBI, they're U.S. Marshal Service. You got them all up there. You